Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mark, and it's Friday, and we're back here for the afternoon call. I know it's not the end of the day, but at the same time, it is a summer Friday, and we do like to get out of here early, especially with how this week has been. We've had more up and down days than, I remember up 100 one day, down 100 the next, up 100 the next day. Big travel ranges in the S&Ps across the board with lots of consolidation that's happening on the S&Ps and the daily charts, which is actually healthy. One issue. What happens over this weekend is really going to determine whether we are going to be going forward to the upside or going to be going forward to the downside. Personally, based on what I saw yesterday with that volume spike, Fed's behind, a lot of these moves. It seems like there's, already being money put to work. I think we're going to be heading higher, and I'm actually starting to see some constructive charts. But I'm not going to be putting a whole lot of money behind this. I'm not going to be putting a whole lot of aggressive trades on the books because I just don't think it's necessary at this time of year. You will get plenty of opportunities. It is going to be an overnight move regardless, and you just got to be prepared and understand that's just how this market is happening and working right now. I have the spider chart up, so just so you can see it, really 34.25 is the level that if we clear that, we probably get to 136 to 136.50 very quickly. And that move will be probably, will move the stocks, the best in breed stocks that really have shown really decent charts, lots of consolidation. So that's what my level on the upside. On the downside, I think if we break back below 132, 131.50, it probably means that would be an ascending channel on the daily, and that means we probably get back down to 129.50, which again, 1250 on the S&Ps possibly would be in the works. I can't tell you, I can't predict which way we're going to go. The fact is, the overnight vote, how Greece, where they vote, is going to determine everything. So you just got to understand I wouldn't be taking a whole lot of risk overnight. But based on what I'm seeing in the last few days, it feels like there's more strength than weakness right now. That big violent move we had yesterday towards the end of the day came with a lot of volume. That could mean nothing. But there's little footprints are telling me that this move might last a little longer. Banks trying to find little levels. JP Morgan obviously has rallied from the bottom, but trying to find levels, trying to move back up to the 200-day moving average, 36.28. Keep that in mind. Goldman Sachs just basing, nothing to really talk about. A move above 96 will be a break above the descending channel, which will make a move probably to 105 if it holds there in time. And Wells Fargo, same thing, another best-in-breed bank. Not doing a whole lot, but given another day, and especially if there's good news, they'll probably gap up to 33 and change. So banks, I really haven't focused on them that much. Not really a whole lot for us to talk about. A few trades that I've been talking about, I wanted on pullbacks. We finally got it today. Expedia, best-in-breed, great earnings. It's just stair-stepping up at this point in time. And, with the market obviously in correction mode, this stock is still sitting on its highs. It's a go-to stock. It's a new go-to stock, I think, for the year. I've been saying that now since earnings came out. At 40, we're there. Understand it just moved to 50, but let it base some more every time, 3-4 days pullback. It's one of those that you have to look at and put in the portfolio. I put it in the swing today. And if you were listening to the VTF, you would have been aware of that. Along those lines, two other companies, Priceline, you can make an argument either way. On the daily chart, it's just basing. 625 low end, 655 high end. Try to make individual cash flow trades in between that. There's no real definitive pattern yet. Lots of basing, lots of constructive action off the bottom from last week above the 600. Trying to make a higher low. And I think if it breaks above 655, you're probably getting a 680 to 690 target short term. So we have to wait and see. Again, Monday we could get a big gap up, and it could be a gap and go. We will have to wait and see. Amazon, same type of pattern in the sense of, I was talking about it this morning, got involved a little bit for a trade. Nothing that exciting going on, but if you can see, it's still, a downtrend, slow downtrend is still in place. Basically, an ascending channel, which should work its way to the upside. Should. We're not there yet. 215 to 214 seems to be the buy area. 220 is the sell area at this point in time. Until it breaks below or above any of those areas, it's really just, you know, a tight pattern, as a lot of stuff in this market is. Apple, it's something I didn't mention on the first breath, which we normally do because it really has been best in breed. And to me right now, Apple, there's a 120-day chart. Not a whole lot, really. This last week was a little manic. I'm still looking at 565 as my low end, 580, 81 as my high end. So right at 575, I'm not doing anything. And really, it's been lacking volume across the board from that point of view. Some new breed stocks that I start to look at, and I'm continuing to look at, SXCI. Like the chart. Hovering, nice, you know, nice minor cup and handle, trying to form the last part of the handle. Right at highs when the market has come in. That's a good looking chart. Retailer, ROST stores, up and away. It hasn't really broke too far away from its 8-day moving average, but it looks like it's moving to that direction at this point in time. So you just have to wait and see, but it looks good. One of the best in breed retailers, obviously. It's not something we've mentioned on a consistent basis because it's pretty dull, but I think it needs to be on people's radar for best in breed at this point in time. And Under Armour, you know, on the retailer front, you know, a day and a half pullback after a new high. It's just going to try to consolidate here. The market has to find a direction to the upside for this, I think, to really grind higher in a real powerful way. But when we find that direction, it's a go-to stock on the retailer side, certainly. And I think it just needs to be on people's radar across the board. ALXN, I know it's a mid-cap stock. I'm just throwing a few decent ideas on the long side to you that I think are certainly, you know, something to look at. Facebook, I know it's on everybody's radar, and now everybody, you know, first day up and about, everybody sold it or taking their trades. I think the trade is to 29.50 minimum. I think you probably could get to 30 to 31.50. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to be holding that in the swing ideally if I can, but I think there's a bigger trade in there. So keep that in mind, and certainly keep it on the radar for all of us. Commodity stock. You know, gold, you know, stopped a lot of people out the other day. It's now back in the same place we would have been getting long a week and a half ago. So big travel range, very hard, lots of, you know, rips and dips. And at this point in time, I think it needs a little more time in this area for it to move back to 165. That's really, based on how it recovered, that's what it seems like to me is in the cards. So maybe I'll be adding above 158.50 if it doesn't gap up too drastically one of those days. I'm not in it right now, and certainly today I'm not getting involved in it. Oil stocks, nothing great. I think the OAH, you know, sorry guys, OAH right now is still in that descending channel pattern that it's been in for probably a better part of a month and a half. And you can go across the board in Schlumberger and a lot of them. They're trying to find new higher lows, which they have put in about a week and a half ago, which is constructive, nothing great from a pattern point of view. I always go to best in breed, which in my opinion is the Schlumberger, Exxon. You know, you can probably make an argument for Chevron, which actually just, you know, broke out of a minor bear flag or bull flag. But those are the industries those are the stocks I look at in that industry. Don't spread yourself out in this tape right now, guys. It's one of those tapes where you just got to pinpoint your ideas. The volume, the liquidity is very light. You can see we got a decent amount of volume for about 45 minutes yesterday, and that was towards the very end of the day, and that was only on headline news. That's where we're at. You know, I don't see why that will change across the board, unfortunately. The news that, you know, with Greece is going to happen, you know, over the weekend, so we're either going to come up to a big gap up or probably a big gap down, one of the two. I'm not making my bets. I told you what I see in the charts, and I think you're probably going to, you know, you're seeing some constructive action, but on a big gap down, that will change all that. I'm going to be very light, and I think that's it's a good place to be until we have more constructive action and something that really tells us we're ready and we're not really turning back, and we're not at that point yet. This headline news is here to stay for the time being, but I'm showing little signs, and the footprints are there that seems like we want to go higher. It's just a matter of how it happens. Hopefully everybody has a good weekend. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there, and I'll see you back here on Monday.